I just bought this entire 1959 Cadillac front end from a junkyard in Arizona, and I'm going to be putting it on this, my 1962 Cadillac ECTO-1 replica. And I'm going to be filming it all so you can see how I do it, so you can do it yourself. Let's get into it. So because I want this video to be a fully encompassing guide to swapping a 1959 front end, I'm going to go ahead and include some of the good and the bad, the unnecessary and the necessary. Try to document as much as possible so you guys know exactly what I'm going through, even if it's different than what you go through. And that actually starts with the very first part of finding the parts and getting the parts to me. I found these parts, reached out to a junkyard called Desert Valley Auto Parts at the end of 2022, and found that they had everything I needed. So I've been working with them on getting all the parts. And by the end of March, the parts were ready to send out to me, and they shipped through a logistics company. That was the only one they had available for my part of Texas, and they this is the site that I saw on screen when I first got the pallet in, and you can see it's not really much of a pallet at all. A lot of the parts got damaged during transport, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that in a little bit, but just so you know, this is something I had to deal with. So it's kind of a nightmare situation, but it's not too out of expectation for it to happen to you. So plan ahead, maybe pick it up yourself. That's step one. Well, this is how it came. It just collapsed. I don't know when, I don't know where, whatever, that kind of stuff. I don't know, when it all fell apart, but I mean, I would not be surprised if a good amount of this shit is messed up. This is horrible. And yeah, some people are saying, yeah, you should be more upset about this, but honestly, it's stuff that you have to expect when dealing with this. Pretty much nothing I've dealt with on this ECTO-1 has gone according to plan, so that's just something that you have to deal with. Just plan for the unexpected. All right, well, it's the next day. This is the beginning of the project, and I want to show you guys. This really probably isn't going to happen to a lot of you guys, but this is what happened to me. They sent me some of the wrong stuff, and let's just start with this. This is the right, or the driver's side fender, and doesn't have all the trim I need. There's a couple pieces of trim missing, including this main one right up on the top, and the fin, or the wing right there. But it's honestly in not bad shape. Let me flip it over to the back so you can see. This was sitting in the junkyard probably for the last 5-10 years. I mean, it's been off the road for the past 40-50, most likely. A lot of these cars have been off the road since the 70s or 80s. But that's a really nice fender over there. This is all the different core supports. It's like a two-piece kind of deal, and it replaces all of this centerpiece. None of this is the same. I've been looking at it. All has to come off. Well, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I kind of expected to do that, but kind of a bummer. So I'm going to have to take the radiator supports off, maybe hang it from something, or just whatever, let it dangle, take the battery off, remove some of the intercooler stuff. I got some unbolting to do. The inner structures, I can show you this right here. You can see it's a lot different shape. You see this little concave part right there? It's smooth right there. Like, there's a lot of different things you can tell, but I don't think it's going to bolt up. The 59 won't bolt up to these, I'm fairly sure. So just going to go ahead and play it safe and swap them out because they're in like the same condition. I don't really care. Now, going over here, this is the front bumper I got, and it's honestly in really good shape. You can see this license plate from 1973, so it's been on the road for a long time, this car. This is so this is off of that white car. So that white fender that I just showed you, it's off the same car. So that car was off the road since 1973. This is the entire front bumper with the brackets, so it should bolt right up to the actual support. This is the part I'm the most frustrated with. They sent me a 1960 passenger fender. I don't know how they could mess that up. I mean, they're similar, but man, I didn't think I'd have to baby them and tell them, get me a 1959 and not a 60. You can tell by this little piece in the other fender. It dips down right here, has a little V shape. This is a 1960 fender, and I can't use it. I can't believe it. Not only that, that other structure I showed you, the inner core support, was this same side. I have two passenger side fender structures, meaning I don't have anything to build off of right now. I can put the bumper on. Like I have an extra one of these, which is cool, I guess. I mean, doesn't really help me out that much. I have these flaps that I do need, so that's good. I do also have all of the chrome for the grill. This just goes on the other end of the bumper. I've got two of those. The other one's already bolted on. I've got this grill that's I think it's like 95% perfect. And then I've got the center, and then I've got this is the center. Then, no. Yeah, this is the part that goes in the center of the grill. And this is the part where the windshield wipers mount to. So that has to be changed too. I also have a hood, and you know what a 59 hood looks like. I don't know where I put it. But I guess I can start trying to take the fender off. Maybe try to get the bumper off. That might be a good starting point. This is just to document the way everything fits. I also realized I need a 1959 hood strut because this one is different. So I thought that they were going to include that in the fender because it would be mounted to the fender. But it's actually not on the 59. It's only mounted to the firewall. So that's something to include. Basically, if you're going to do this, you might as well just buy the whole car so you can have every single piece. Because, golly, or just buy a 59 from the beginning. But this goes over that. But that's different on this one because I think the fender mounts straight to the wheel well instead of to the front. Well, no, it doesn't, because this right there, that will mount to here on this one. So, you know what? This fender might work. Oh, let me check. There might be a way I can make this work. Maybe. Alright, so I've got all the bolts off on the back half. The front half, some of the bolts don't come off because I've got little retainers on the back that I can't access. Maybe I'm just doing this in the wrong order. It's very possible. What I've got is the back is loose and the front, it wants to pull the grill. So I'm going to disconnect the other side and see if I can make this whole part come off in one piece, because that would also be really nice for transporting. So I could install the ECTO-1 license plate, and I just thought it'd be cool to see. These are the cars making the ECTO-1. You've got this off of the actual car, 1962 Cadillac hearse. Looks like it's probably a one owner, except for the funeral home, taken off the road in 1980. Probably off the road way before Ghostbusters, probably already in storage by 1981. And then this is the car that sacrificed the bumper and one of the fenders coming from Desert Valley Auto Parts. This car was taken off the road in 1973, lived in Arizona, so it's off the road even longer. And I'd go ahead and assume that it was parked or by at least 1975, 1980. So both these cars have been off the road since before Ghostbusters, and now they're both going to become part of an ECTO-1. Isn't that cool? So like I was showing you guys, it's a little hard to film, but there are a couple different large nuts and bolts that are holding the entire bumper together. They're in groups of two, so there's two that are mounting straight to the front little part of the frame. There are two a little further in that mount that bracket to the actual bumper, and then there's the same on the other side. And I've got 3 of the sets off. There's one more set to do, and you can see it wants to go now. So we get that other one off and it's ready to drop. I should probably put something underneath it so I don't smash my boots, but it's okay because they're steel toe beat. About to come off. It's just at the very last bit of the thread. Finally done with this. Stupid bolt. This side's all the way loose, I think. Is there something holding this side in? Oh, the doors. So you remember what I said about the doors? Okay. There she goes. Look at this. That's it right there. Oh. Don't fall. Oh, it's on the hood spring. Well, that's off now. Okay, so the main body is disconnected. I'll move it off camera. I got a storm rolling in, so I gotta end it. Go ahead and replace these. I think I might be able to keep this the same because I think it is exactly the same. But I'll have to change the wheel wells. Not that hard of a fix. We'll just show them in the next video. Keep an eye out for part 2. Well, guys.